Scott, 52 tests, and this is your first in Christchurch, is that right?
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Just maybe your feelings about that. How excited are you to finally play a test match on your home ground?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think I watched my brother back in like 2013 play here, and obviously based myself here for the last sort of 10 years, and to get the opportunity to play a test is yes, pretty awesome.
Have you checked in with Bowden? How's he doing? Obviously a nasty blow for him during the week.
Yeah, he's doing alright. A little bit frustrating when you get ruled out during the week during a training drill. So we've got around him, and feeling a little bit for him. But Stevie will step in and do a superb job.
Sam, pretty much an identical team, bar obviously Bowden and Stephen coming in. How important is that continuity for this group to build on what you guys produced at Ellis Park?
Yeah, it's nice to be out there with some people we played with before. Obviously, Scott and I have played together a heap of times. I'm not sure on the number, but it's great when you're starting to get that combination going, and it's something that it's kind of easy to slip back into, how people play. Just thinking around Scott and I, I kind of pick up on some of his body language things, so I know he's going to do this before the calls even come in, which is good, and that's something that definitely does help you play better when you have that combination of people alongside you.
Sam, you've been in an era where it's actually, the Christchurch hasn't had that many tests. Does it feel almost a bit unusual to be back playing at home sport?
Yeah, my wife's pretty happy we're here. I've been sneaking home every night, so nice to spend a little bit of time with the kids. But it's great playing in New Zealand, but for the guys that are based out of Christchurch, it is nice to be here at home. It's great. I played in that 2013 game Scott talked about before, and I remember it being very cold, and it was cold for us, but definitely cold for the opposition as well. But it's a great place to play. I love it here, so it's quite excited.
Is there anything you can use at Orangetheory to your advantage in Test rugby at all?
It's at the same time, I love playing here in Christchurch. It's still the same size, all those things. Both teams have to deal with whatever the weather throws at us, whether it's a southerly comes through or it's a little bit dewy and it's a still night. So it's just being aware that it might be a little bit slipperier than people were used to. For us as tight forwards, making sure you've got 21s in versus 18s. But they're all those schoolboy things that we should have nailed before Saturday.
Sam, a few weeks in now with Jace Ryan, is he coaching the same as you guys, the same as he did with the Crusaders? I mean, how is it different the way he's doing things?
He is coaching different. He's coaching at an All Black level at the moment, and that's what we want. That's what we need. Obviously, both of us have a relationship with Jace over the last 5 or 6 years, and it's great having that so we can talk about things quickly and adjust on the run whether we need. But at the same time, he's definitely upping his game. He's demanding more of people that he knows pretty well. So it's a great thing to have him in here, demanding that we grow and get better.
How much of it is him, the way the Maul defence has sort of clearly improved in those few weeks?
Yeah, that's the one area that we've definitely been looking at and working at. The boys have enjoyed a few extra mauls at training, and you can see the growth that's starting to come through individuals, and when you're growing as an individual, it definitely helps the team. So I think when we were away the last couple of weeks in Africa, we had a couple of sessions that were pretty heated and we were getting stuck into each other, but I think the way the non-23 set us up to go out there and perform was definitely something that helped, and that's something that, again, this week is going to be very important.
There's a lot of attitude when it comes to defending those balls.
Attitude's definitely a key part of it, but you've also got to have the skill set to go with it. There's no point just banging your head against a brick wall. You've got to actually know what you're trying to do and how to do it, and sometimes it's actually just getting alignment through the whole forward pack of what it looks like and the key areas you're trying to exploit.
Obviously both of you became quite close with Pablo during the Crusaders season. Now you're going up against him. He said he's going to forget about being friends when he jumps on the field on Saturday. I guess, how are you guys feeling about going up against a teammate and a friend now, I guess?
Yeah, a little bit. It's going to be a little bit weird. Played against Pablo a couple of times before he made his way down here, but he's not going to hold back at all. So that's great, and that's how it's got to be. We play against each other as All Blacks throughout the whole Super Rugby time of the year, and it's no different. We're going to go out there and try to put our best foot forward, and he'll do the same. He'll do it with obviously his own flair. So we just hopefully he doesn't, play that football style and putting in kicks like that, as we know he can do. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Looking forward to catching up after the game too. So great player, great person, and a good friend.
Sam, I know how much Orangetheory means to you, and it cops a lot of flack, but you say it holds a special place in your heart post Quakes because it's all you've ever really known, I guess. What is it for you that is special about Orangetheory?
Yeah, well, I actually played in Jade Stadium too, so all the old AMI. I played in the last Test match there, and then saw what the whole community went through, not just here in Christchurch, but the whole greater area. The things that people went through, whether they were a 5-year-old kid of waiting for their parents to come pick them up from kindergarten after a number of different earthquakes and tremors, whether they were an older person put under stress that way. So it is great to have Test match rugby back here in Christchurch. I know it affected the community massively just before World Cup, and then losing all those Test matches through the World Cup. So it is great to be back, and it's a little bit surreal when you start looking around. There's not actually a lot of people that were playing professional rugby when those earthquakes happened in the team. So it's nice to be able to pass on some of those messages that we've had through the years that have gone past through playing here as All Blacks.
Have you noticed a buzz amongst the Christchurch public with the best test in 6 years?
Yep, when the game got announced, definitely a few friends straight away were asking for tickets, so I had to politely say to them, sort themselves out pretty quick. But no, there's definitely a buzz, and there's a lot of people coming from a long way away that can get to the game that are pretty excited. I know there's a lot of kids that it's their first chance to come and get to the game, so fingers crossed it's a nice still night out there and not so cold.
Scott, was that the standard for this All Black group now, the Ellis Park test and the performance from this group? Is that sort of seen as the standard to meet and to go past for the rest of this year?
Yeah, I think it's probably the standard for effort. Like this team's striving to get better, and the coaching group are doing a great job at driving us players to get better. So yeah, we're looking to build on that effort.
Sam, news overnight that your long-time former teammate Tawara Kurbalo wants to play for Australia. What's your reaction to that? Did it surprise you to hear that?
I actually just found out before on the bus on the way back from the gym. A couple of boys were saying that there's an article out. My initial thought was, let him play. It's just going to add motivation for us to go out and play against him. He's a great player and he's done some amazing things for us, but it's no different to any other player, playing 1 or 2 games and then changing after a couple of years of not being available for that team.
Are you a little bit worried that it might start sort of, we see a lot of movement in international rugby and it loses some of its essence of what it has at the moment?
I'm not 100% sure on all the rules around how many games and things like that, but I'm pretty clear. I think it's 4 or 5 years since you last selected. So I think if it comes under those rules, it comes under those rules. But yeah, I haven't really thought too much about it, to tell you the truth.
Sam, you coached a few lineouts at Ellis Park. Was that a result of analysis or what you were seeing, and just in general the defensive lineout? How do you think that's gone?
I'd love to claim it was all me. I know Scott took one in a pretty critical moment. I think we're all looking to get better, as Scott said before, and we do have to get better. And it's quite nice when we're putting time and energy into something and then all of a sudden you're getting a little bit of reward from it. I know for myself it's easier defending a line out rather than defending 20 plus phases, so it's quite nice to get the odd one at source. But teams are good. Argentina got a good smart line out. They've got some good options there, so it'll be interesting to see what options they bring on the weekend.